Everyone, welcome to the show. So, this whole Donald Trump Epstein saga continues. And Donald Trump is still trying to put out this whole Jeffrey Epstein fire that he started, but it's like he's dousing it with more gasoline. Like he just keeps making things worse. He keeps stepping in it because he just did an interview and he insulted his voters yet again, as if he didn't get bad enough feedback, as if it wasn't like they went ballistic on him already. And polling on this issue is horrific for Trump. I have the latest to share with you on that. Also, Republican members of Congress are taking heat from their constituents over this cover up. I have that story to share with you, and you're going to want to hear this. You're going to want to stay till the end to hear the quotes that I have from some of them. I also have details about another bro podcaster, a brocaster, if you will, and I think you might. He's calling out J.D. Vance over his past Epstein remarks. And this is being discussed everywhere now. This is even in the world of sports coming up. So I have all of that and more for you guys today. Before I jump in, please do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free. It is a huge help to the show. I so appreciate it. And a huge, huge shout out to everybody who donates to the show, everyone with a membership monthly. You really do help to keep this show running, so I appreciate it. So here's the deal. Trump went on Real America's Voice last night. That is Steve Bannon's network. He wasn't on with Steve Bannon, but he was on with a different host. And Trump insulted his supporters again. So check out this. It's audio of Trump, but you're going to see the hosts on the screen. And pay close attention to what the male host says to him in the middle and at the end. So take a look. I mean, this is just chef's kiss. I mean, if they're trying to make things worse for themselves and Trump, they're doing a good job. Check this out.
Things are most important that you would like to see the FBI get to the bottom of?
I think they could look at all of it. It's all the same scam. They could look at this Jeffrey Epstein hoax also, because that's the same stuff. That's all put out by Democrats.
Yeah.
And, some of the naive Republicans fall right into line like they always do. They just don't have the sustainability. They don't have there's something. They don't have that stick to it like glue. But they ought to look into the Jeffrey Epstein hoax too, because that's another hoax that's frankly put out by the pushing the Republicans and put out by the Democrats.
No, they definitely set the Republicans up.
Did you catch that? This host just lost all credibility. He just went along with Trump's lie that this is a Democratic-led hoax. They set the Republicans up. Are you freaking kidding me? Everyone in MAGA world was talking about this Epstein case. The Democrats didn't, and it was driving me crazy because I have been covering this Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell story since I launched this channel. And I want to show you guys this photo just to prove everyone wrong who says, oh, well, now you care, now you're jumping on the bandwagon. No, this was me. This was me and my sign at the 2017 Women's March. I was protesting against Trump at the Women's March. We all know it was one of the biggest protests on earth. It was in every country. And for those on the podcast, I'm holding a giant sign that says, the child rapist will never be my president. And you guys can all go and check. I have a playlist on this channel that's titled Epstein and Maxwell. This was from years ago. I was doing these videos talking about this Epstein case. So I'm not new to this Epstein rodeo in this story. This is a real and horrific case. This isn't QAnon. This isn't the conspiracy theories pushed by the QAnon, the Q-loons, and all this other BS and the stolen election that didn't actually happen, that wasn't stolen. This is real. Okay, and these victims deserve justice. So anyway, as you guys heard in Trump's interview, he calls his voters naive just because they believe a very real case because they want to see children get justice. And as I mentioned yesterday, if this was created by the Democrats, why didn't they use it? Why did they not use this so-called fabricated evidence against Trump in any of the 3 elections that he ran in? I find this so strange. I mean, Trump is being very obvious with his attempt to deflect. He's usually a lot better at it than this. So he's off his game here. And all of his flailing is having a Streisand effect. I don't know if you guys caught this, but last year, J.D. Vance was on Theo Von's podcast, and Vance made a comment. Well, Theo Von first brought it up. He's like, oh, release the list. And then J.D. Vance was like, yeah, we need to release the Epstein list. Well, yesterday, someone shared that clip on Twitter, and they asked, hey, JD, what changed? And then he said, let's blast this everywhere before they try to erase it. Well, then Theo Von retweeted that, and he asked, yeah, what changed? And I mean, for those of you who don't know, Theo Von has a massive audience. Barron Trump is a Theo Von supporter, a big fan of his show. Barron Trump is the reason that Donald Trump went on Theo Von's show and promoted his candidacy in the election last year. He is a big part of why a lot of young male voters voted for Trump, because Theo Von was like, yeah, I like him. I think I'm going to vote for him. And Mike Pence, Vice President Mike Pence, has now entered the chat. So I want to show you guys. Mike Pence is now calling for Epstein files. He was interviewed by CBS, and he said, quote, I think the time has come for the administration to release all of the files regarding Jeffrey Epstein's investigation and prosecution. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this one. This was very funny. Shane Gillis, who is pretty popular on the left, he was the host for the ESPY Awards show. So this is for sports. And I don't know if you guys saw this clip, but it's worth checking out. I don't want to get hit with a copyright violation. That's why I'm not going to play it. But he said something to the effect of, oh, I had an Epstein joke to tell you, but it got deleted. And then he was like, oh, yeah, probably never existed anyway. Let's just move on as a country and forget about it. And then he isn't the only one who's trolling Trump. So Elon Musk, he posted like 11 tweets about the Epstein scandal. Also, a Republican senator, Thomas Massie, who you probably heard about, he's kind of a thorn in Donald Trump's side. He's more of a libertarian. And so he has this very independent streak. And he told a news outlet called Mail Online, quote, I guess Ghislaine Maxwell should be getting a pardon because it's a hoax now. And then Massie has joined forces with Democrat Ro Khanna. They're both trying to force a full House vote from the House of Representatives on releasing the Epstein files. Because as you guys may have heard, if you saw a couple of my videos earlier in the week, a couple of different people have asked, they've tried to enter amendments, or I forget what they're called, not bills, but anyway, they've tried to get their committees to vote to bring this to the House floor, to ask all members of Congress to vote to release these files. And in 2 different cases, one was written by a Democrat, one was written by Marjorie Taylor Greene. In both cases, the Republicans voted no. So all these Republicans that you might be hearing that are saying, oh, I want this to come out. I think the truth should come out. I'm so concerned about this. Yeah, they're full of shit. And then some Republicans are admitting that they're taking heat for this. So, for instance, Congressman Tim Burchett, he's from Tennessee. He said he doesn't trust Pam Bondi. And then he admitted that he was spoke with one of the Real America Voice hosts, and he admitted that, yeah, he's being inundated with angry calls and emails from constituents. Other Republicans, though, they're running interference for Trump. And they're flat out admitting they don't really care. They don't care about the violation of children after all. So here's a few of their quotes. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, he told a news outlet, quote, "We've got a hell of a lot more problems than Epstein." Yeah, like transgender people. They love to talk about transgender people, right? How dangerous they are and transitioning kids. That they have time for. But now we have so many more bigger issues. Senator Jim Risch of Idaho, he said, quote, "No, I don't know anything about it. Nothing. I didn't look into it to begin with. Not looking into it now." Doesn't care. Senator Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, she told the news outlet, quote, "I really haven't paid much attention to it, to be honest with you. It's just not something I'm focused on. Just let the story play out however it does." Yeah, so all of their, what about the children? The babies, right? All their talk about caring about, groomers on the left and drag queen story hour clutching their pearls. Oh, the dangers of boys being allowed in girls' bathrooms. Yeah, that was a giant, smelly load of horse shit. They don't give a damn. When it comes to their own violating children, they don't care. And then check this out. So Newsweek just reported this. This just came out today. Oops, sorry, let me remove this. That House members, or excuse me, not House members, Congress members, Republican Congress members, not Democrats, Republican members of both the House and the Senate are pleading with their leaders to send them home early because they don't want to have to deal with this. They don't want to have to deal with the pressure that they're facing from their voters. Yeah, but guess what? The American people, they do actually care about this. And I hope that the Republicans continue down this path of not giving a damn and trying to blow this off, because this is going to bite them in the ass in the midterms. Here's what the polling shows. So in a CNN poll of 65, a CNN poll overall, people are, by and large, they're not buying this, they're not happy with this. But what they did was they broke it down, as all pollsters do. They broke it down by age, and they said 65% of male respondents under the age of 35, who, remember, overwhelmingly, disproportionately voted for Trump, 65% disapprove of the way that Donald Trump's handling this whole Epstein file issue. Only 10% of that demographic that went for Trump, only 10% are happy with how much information has been shared so far. A Michigan man spoke with them, a guy named Ben. He didn't want his last name used, but he told CNN, quote, "You said you were going to show us the Epstein files. Now you're just being the very thing you said you were going to end. Not as transparent as what I thought. If given a chance to go back to November, maybe I just wouldn't vote." And then a Reuters Ipsos poll, it was not much better for Donald Trump. So let me bring this up for you. So only 17% of the poll respondents approve of Trump's handling of this issue. And among Republican voters specifically, it was still only 35%. So only 35% of Republicans approve of how he's handling this. Also, 69% of all of the people they surveyed said they believe the government's hiding the Epstein list, and that included 62% of Republicans. Then I have this. So this is a Quinnipiac poll. and it showed nearly identical numbers. So 17% approval, as you can see there, 63% disapproval. And then there was Rasmussen as well. Now, for those who don't know, Rasmussen always favors Trump. They are always just on his jock. They showed that 56% of likely voters are not buying the Trump administration story about how, oh, nothing to see here, move along. Only 21% in Rasmussen's poll said they believe what Donald Trump's administration is saying about the Epstein files. So this is getting worse as the days go by, and Trump just cannot seem to help himself this time. I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe it's his medical condition, which I talk about in another video today, but he is off his game. He has lost the magic touch, and even his own voters are like, yeah, no, it's not, this isn't working for me. So anyway, guys, I will have more for you, I'm sure, because this is, as I keep saying, this is not going away. It's not going away. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.